Hi, this is Stephanie at Creative Paradise. I'm at the Glass Studio Creative Paradise, and today I'm going to make some fun and interesting colorful dragonflies using the Creative Paradise LF111 large dragonfly mold, System 96 frit, and a kiln. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put some powdered frit down in the vein of the dragonfly wing, and I always like to use a nice contrasting color. Black is what I'm going to use to make this particular dragonfly's veins. I like to put the powdered black in a sifter, and then I just vibrate the sifter and the frit falls down into the wing area, like so. And this is powdered black. When you're using powdered glass, it's a really good idea to wear a mask because you don't want to inhale glass. Now I'm just going to take my finger and I'm going to move the frit primarily into the vein of the wing. A little bit of the powder can stay in the other areas. It won't really matter, but I want the most of the frit to be in the vein of the wing. Don't want to rub on the mold too much because we have a glass separator on here. Before I started, I sprayed these molds with MR97 boron nitrite spray. You can use other glass separators, but at Creative Paradise we do recommend the MR97 boron nitride. You'll find the best results with that. So I applied the boron nitride, and I've sprinkled the black powder onto the wings and then used my finger to wipe it into the veins. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill the body with some opaque glass. I'm going to, on this particular dragonfly, I've decided I want to put some mauve in the bottom of the body and then back it with terracotta opal. So I'm going to use mauve fine frit, which is an opal color, sprinkle it down into the body. I like to put the mauve in the body before I do the transparents in the wings. That way, if I get some transparent over the mauve area, it's not going to make a difference. So I've just filled the bottom layer with the mauve opal. Now I'm going to use terracotta opal, fine, and I'm going to go over the mauve opal. What will happen is the bottom part of the mold is what's going to show. And so the top of the dragonfly's body is going to be a mauve, and then the bottom of the body will be this terracotta color. On this particular dragonfly, I'm going to do something kind of fun with some metallic irid frit from Ouroboros. It's a mosaic size, and so you can just dump it out and look at the different grains. Some of them have, all of them have irid on them in some areas. So one side will be clear glass and the other side has an irid coating. I'm going to put these pieces of glass irid side down in the mold. I've taken little pieces of the frit, found out which was the irid side, and pretty much filled the wing areas with the metallic irid frit. Now I'm going to back the frit with various different shades of transparent fine frit. This is pale purple transparent, which I'm going to put just some of it in the tips of the wings. Blend it out towards the middle a little bit. Now I'm going to use some fine pale amber frit. Blend some out from the purple into the body. Now I'm going to use medium amber frit on the part of the wing closest to the body. Blending it as I go. This is basically just putting color in there. Now I'm going to use medium clear frit and fill the wings. I'm going to be putting medium grain clear. Most of this Dragonfly is actually going to be medium grain clear. You can weigh the Dragonfly, weigh your mold empty, and then, or put it on a scale and tear it out. And make sure that you put enough grams of frit in here if that's what you like to do. I have actually made enough of these Dragonflies, but I kind of know when I've got enough glass in there. But you may want to weigh it to make sure that you have enough frit. The reason you do that is we're going to a full fuse, and if you don't put enough glass in there, what will happen is your glass will shrivel and your Dragonfly wings won't fill. Now that I've filled it with some medium grain frit, I'm going to take a brush and just sweep the frit away from the mold wall. This is so that when the glass melts, it can roll forward and give you a nice smooth edge where the glass touches the wall. Now, what my goal is with this Dragonfly is I'm going to be making a floral display with glass Dragonflies in it. And so to make that easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to include a copper wire into the frit at this point. And so I'm going to take a 16 gauge copper wire, about 4 inches of it, bend it slightly like so, and embed it into the frit, just this much, about a 1/4 or an 1/8 of an inch into the frit like this, and then I'm going to fire it. So we made the Dragonfly. We're ready to cook the Dragonfly with the irid frit in the wings. Now I'm going to make another colorful Dragonfly using just standard frit. I'm going to use a contrasting powdered frit in the wings. This is deep aqua transparent powdered frit. It's one of my favorite frits to use. Powder, it blends nicely and it's transparent, and so you can put it with yellow behind it and it turns more green, or with blue behind it, it turns more blue. Just basically filling the surface of that bottom part of the wing with the powder. Now I'm going to take my finger and wipe it into the veins basically. I'm going to put a little bit of the powder in the body and the eyes of the Dragonfly. Just a little bit, just some shading. When you're using powder, you want to wear a mask so that you're not inhaling glass. Now I'm going to put the opaque frit in the body of the Dragonfly. This Dragonfly is going to be nice and light colored body. I'm going to put fine pastel green in the body. Where that deep aqua is, it will come out kind of a teal green because, again, that deep aqua is transparent. And so it's going to fuse with this opaque pastel green and create more of a teal top of the body and eyes. Now I'm going to back it with a bit of white. It is medium grain white. These colors are just purely subjective. I'm just trying to show you the different variety of things that you can do. Now, on the wings, I'm going to fill the wings with transparent colors. And I'm going to use pale purple, fine, on the tips of the wing. Maybe a little bit down on the lower edge. just for fun, I'm going to put a little bit of Turns Pink Fine in the Dragonfly wing. In the wing, like so. Turns Pink is a striking color, which means that after it's fired, it looks very different than it does at this point. And so if you use too much of it, it comes out a very dark, it's a lovely color, but it might be darker than what you anticipated. Now I'm going to take Sapphire, which is a transparent fine, fill the rest of this lower part of the wing for coloring. Maybe the first 30-second of the mold is filled with colorful fine frit. Now I'm going to back the rest of it with a medium grain frit. I'm going to fill it with clear medium grain. I want these wings to be very light. And I'm going to be filling the mold with about 96 grams of frit. So you can put your mold on a scale and fill it until it has 96 grams of frit in it. Now I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to sweep the frit towards the center of the mold, a little bit away from the wall. I'm going to put my 4-inch piece of 16 gauge copper wire in here so that I can wire it to a floral display after it's fired. I'm going to fire both of these pieces in the kiln at a firing schedule of 275 an hour to 1225, hold for 60 minutes. 275 an hour to 1330, hold for 10 minutes. And then 275 to 1465, hold for 5 minutes. As fast as possible to 960 and hold for an hour. That hold at 1225 helps you to not get a bunch of bubbles in your frit. While our other dragonflies are cooking, I thought I'd show you some other creative possibilities. This dragonfly features the metallic irid frit, just like we used in that first dragonfly. You can see the irid and how it has some really fun light play here on the wings. This particular dragonfly has black powder in the veins, black powder in the body. I put some white powder after the black powder in the body and then filled it with the pewter medium grain frit. The wings are pale gray on top of the metallic irid frit and the black powder in the veins. You can see the wire is included here. I'm going to be able to attach that to a cattail or something else for my display. This dragonfly features moss green fine in the tip, orange transparent, graduated to yellow transparent, yellow opal in the body of the dragonfly, backed by Amazon green opal. This is a fun one. It shows you what the reactive frits can do. There's a transparent reactive frit that I have a powder I've sprinkled in the veins, and then I've backed it with a turquoise green powder, which is a color that reacts to the transparent frit. I've done the same thing in the body with the transparent reactive frit in the body, and then I've backed the body with apple jade. I have then filled the outer edges of the wings with topaz blue and then sky blue to the center, and filled the remainder of the dragonfly with clear. But you can see how the reactive, what happens is that reactive frit reacts with the turquoise green and the apple jade and turns this really pretty burgundy color. We have a dragonfly with plum opal in the body, red opal powder in the eyes and the tip of the body, and then light cherry red in the wings with clear also. This one is white opal powder in the body, white opal powder in the veins, sapphire blue transparent in the wings, and apple jade in the body over the white opal powder. And here we have a little bit more of a traditional dragonfly. He has the deep aqua powder in the veins, deep aqua powder in the body, backed with Amazon green behind it. I've put deep aqua fine frit in the tip of the wings, teal green transparent fine in this area, some moss green, and then some sky blue, and then filled the whole thing with yellow transparent, and then filled the rest of the dragonfly with clear. So it has a little bit of yellow and then clear. So you can see there are an endless array of different things we can do with frit and the Creative Paradise LF111 Dragonfly mold. Happy fusing!